You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Trump's new Iran play could blow up in his face and torch the global economy. Experts, based on an article by Matthew Chapman. The Strait is a shakedown, a ceasefire that collapsed into price fixing. Trump's ceasefire memorandum lasted only weeks before the deal collapsed under continued Iranian aggression against civilian vessels and U.S. strikes on Iranian targets. His answer was not a stable security policy, but a new demand. The United States would patrol the Strait of Hormuz and vessels would pay $1.15 per barrel fee for the privilege. Who holds the power? The institutional power here is not mysterious. It is the U.S. state, backed by naval force, setting terms for one of the world's most important shipping lanes. Trump is not protecting the strait in any neutral sense. He is using American military power to claim a toll on global commerce while presenting the move as security. That is the core distortion. A patrol is being sold as guardianship, but it functions like leverage over a chokepoint. If the world's oil supply is vulnerable, then the answer is not to slap a fee on passage and call it order. That is extortion dressed up as policy. The toll is the story. The CNBC reporting makes the economic consequence plain. The fee could push global energy prices upward as surely as an actual interruption in transit. That is the point Trump's framing tries to blur. He is not reducing instability, he is monetizing it. Hapag-Lloyd's objection cuts through the nonsense. Tolls at the Suez Canal or Panama Canal reflect real infrastructure investment. The Strait of Hormuz is not a government-built lane being maintained for public use. It is an international chokepoint, and Trump is trying to convert military control into a revenue stream. Misdirection as policy. The language of guarding the strait hides the actual decision-maker. Trump made the choice to escalate the burden on shipping and then wrapped it in the language of protection. That move shifts attention away from the U.S. role in deepening economic instability and puts the spotlight on Iranian aggression alone. Iran deserves no romantic treatment here. The source says Iranian forces continued making aggressive moves on civilian vessels, and Tehran openly mocked Trump's fee demand, even floating its own toll. But that does not make the U.S. response serious. It makes the conflict a contest in coercion, with civilians and the global economy left to absorb the damage. The pattern. This is what transactional militarism looks like in practice. The state cannot secure a region, so it charges rent on insecurity. It cannot produce peace, so it sells temporary containment. It cannot admit failure, so it rebrands coercion as guardianship. Trump's strait policy is not an exception. It is a familiar imperial habit. Convert force into a billing system, call the result stability, and offload the costs onto everyone else. The story is not just about Iran or shipping. It is about a political order that treats instability as an opportunity for extraction, then expects the public to mistake that for security. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article with the automated voice of LJ. Thanks for listening.